At our recent Impeach Obama demo on an overpass in Leucadia, California, the California Highway Patrol harassed us, saying that we were distracting drivers and that our signs on the fence were an encroachment on state property and had to be taken down. CHP said that if traffic slowed, which it often does normally in this area, we would be ordered to disperse. They also threatened to ticket us for jaywalking. Zero tolerance for violations of petty laws just to interfere with a protest is discrimination and a violation of our First Amendment rights. This clip contrasts the treatment we received with the way the CHP treats some radical anti-American groups. From the California Streets and Highways Code, the encroachment law CHP cited says that a 5-day notice must be given. Our protest only lasted 3 hours, so this law does not apply. Protesters should always ask which law is being violated and research the law to see if it really applies. Police sometimes try to bully and intimidate protesters by giving orders that are not supported by the law. If they arrest you without having legal reason, they can be sued for false arrest. The occupiers had a demonstration on an overpass a few miles south on the same I-5 freeway under the red-black diagonal flag of anarchy and communism. The CHP apparently did not consider this to be a distraction to the drivers, even though it was a much larger demo. In fact, the CHP blocked off the street for the convenience and safety of these radical communist and anarchist protesters. What really takes the cake, though, is the real encroachment on overpasses of Chicano Park in San Diego, which was occupied in the 1970s by a group of Mexican nationalists and racial supremacists. This encroachment is on CHP property also on the same freeway. The CHP has not only allowed the encroachment to remain for 40 years, but allowed them to build a park with murals portraying Aztec religious themes, anti-American messages, and mestizo racial supremacy. Every year, 2 modified Mexican flags are raised on this public property. One flag represents mestizo racial supremacy. The other flag represents Aztlan, the southwestern part of the United States, which is ultimately to be reunited with Mexico. A sweat lodge and kiva have also been built on this public land for the practice of pagan religious ceremony, a clear violation of separation of church and state. Many of the murals are dedicated to the Aztec messiah figure, Quetzalcoatl, who the Chicanos believe will return as a man-god and liberate Aztlan from America. Chicano Park is seen as the first part of Aztlan to be liberated. Communist dictator Fidel Castro and terrorist Che Guevara are honored in murals as are Ho Chi Minh and Mexican revolutionaries. These murals honoring totalitarianism were recently restored using a grant of $1.6 million from the Obama regime and administered by Caltrans. Also, Nazi-like swastikas are prominently displayed around the park, which the San Diego Union Tribune described as a provocation. Chicanoism is a curious mixture of communist collectivism and supremacist Nazi-like racial theory. The form of these swastikas is the same as one often used by the Nazis, only usually reversed, as you can see from this Nazi belt buckle. This is appropriate because Chicanoism is similar in racial concept to a reverse form of Nazism. In conclusion, if you are an anti-American radical, the CHP may give you very special treatment and even millions in taxpayer funds. But if you protest against Obama, you are harassed, intimidated, and may very well be shut down for no good reason.